Right, next one. I mean, all I'm going to say.
Shit fight.
Oh, right. Is that sarcasm or real?
No, it's sarcasm. I love this fight. I know you're going to go, oh, I hated it. It's like, so you like Luis Saldana, but you hated this fight. What are you talking about? This fight was amazing. I loved it.
Rubbish fight, right?
I loved it.
Look at the top here.
All the way through. Brilliant.
Fight of the night, right?
100%.
Terrible fight. I have no idea why anybody liked this fight. I do know why some people liked it, don't get me wrong. But I was watching this going, God, this fight is crap. Neither of them look like they know how to fight. Neither of them have any breath to speak of. Zero cardio from both blokes, which means their skills were terrible. Honestly, I really hated this fight. I was like, this fight is crap. I don't know what going on about. This is the best fight. And then when I saw it was fight of the night, what's happening here? This was crap. You got a bloke with his hand on his knees after 2 seconds. Crap. And then you got a bloke with his hands on his knees, right? So you got Rockhold literally going, I can't fight anymore. And Paulo Costa going, well, so what? Don't worry about it. He did nothing about it. Punch him in the face, kick him in the face, do something. He did nothing. A rubbish fight. This was such a rubbish fight. Useless, both of them. I tell you what, don't know what's going on with Costa. I like that bloke a lot.
They're not useless, right? Let's just be clear. We actually think both of these guys are wicked.
Right? Skills are both amazing, and I didn't see any of their skills because neither of them could breathe properly. Rubbish.
Right, but
now there was all the chat about the Salt Lake City stuff and the attitude.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is a bad cold performance by these blokes, in my opinion, because you literally had a bloke who was a punch bag, and the other bloke going, "Yeah, but I can't punch or kick either, so I'm not going to do nothing about it." I didn't like it.
If you think about this fight card, right? You would go Lusa or Angelusa versus Fletcher, or Fletcher gassed out, right? Bad.
Now I tell you what. Hold on, right? Because you didn't see all of them, right? Hang on. I'll tell you what. We'll do this version for you, right? Hang on. Here we go. Right.
Both of these guys struggled cardio-wise. I mean, Fletcher was basically dead in round 3. Next. Woodson seemed to have no punch resistance, and honestly, Saldana after round 1,
no breath,
no damage. Yeah, he had no. That's the only reason he didn't win that fight, because he ran out of cardio. Next. Well, Santos has always got bad breath, but he had really bad breath. Right, next.
Heavyweight.
Yeah. Both crap anyway, breath-wise, probably, because they're heavyweight. But yeah, they both struggled as well, right? Next.
But particularly Romanov.
Yeah, I thought Tybura done all right.
Considering you had a bloke laying on him. Yeah.
I thought he recovered well after round 1, but still not the most active. Next. Only lasted 3 seconds. Next. Okay, I think they seem to handle it okay.
Yeah, I saw no effect on these two.
Yeah, these two seem to be all right. Next. So women are brilliant.
No breath, both of them.
Aldo, but we kind of expect Aldo to have no breath. So next. Only in round 3 as well, but next. And then obviously these two, no breath.
The worst.
So let's be fair. And these are not guys. Rockhold is always in amazing shape. Rockhold has got cardio. He has done championship fights and stuff like that, right? Costa, if you think of the fights against stuff like Romero, he's got like amazing work rate in the cage, right? He's not someone who steals breaks, who pins people up against the fence and just does knees to the thigh. He ain't that guy. He is a battering ram. He's not. And he struggled, right? So
I know.
What I'm saying is I'm going to cut these guys some slack, because I do think that altitude stuff is, they said on the broadcast, right? Cormier said, Kane, cardio for days, fought Fabrizio Verdun at altitude and just was gone after 1 round, right? If your body ain't used to it, I can totally understand why you basically just get smashed. Now they said, I can't remember, they said, someone arrived a week beforehand to acclimatise. I think it was Leon Edwards, a week or 2 beforehand. To me, I went, 2 weeks. I went, that's not long enough. He should have done his whole training camp there, in my opinion. Might not be able to afford it. I'm just saying, perfect preparation would be to do your whole training camp there. Because imagine you go there for 2 weeks before, and you train there after about 4 days. You're going, bloody hell, I can only hit pads for 3 rounds, and I'm effed. How is that not going to affect your psychology going into the fight? At least if you go 3 months in advance, you might go, bloody hell, man, this is really hard. After 2 rounds, I'm effed. And then you can at least try and rectify that over the next month or 2. So I think going 2 weeks beforehand, it wasn't good preparation, but that's for the main event. these guys don't usually have problems with cardio. They did this time. I'm going to put that down to, in Rockhold's case, age, inactivity, injuries, and altitude. For Costa, I'll give him an excuse that he's probably down in a bottle of wine the night beforehand. And looking at how, in what amazing condition he was in, he was probably having a threesome or something like that as well, right?
So he did look, oh yeah, he looked good.
He looked amazing, right? So, but I love this fight because a few things. I thought the story was brilliant. By the end, it made me go, oh man, Rockhold, I really liked him. I liked he couldn't speak again, by the way. They said, one of the best, post-fight speeches. And I was like, it weren't. He didn't even finish the sentence again. He couldn't even finish the sentence. Has that guy ever finished a sentence? But I liked the sincerity of it. I liked how upset he was to be leaving the sport behind. He looked genuinely like, mortified that part of his life was over.
Well, I like that bit.
Yeah, the crowd, gave him a wicked cheer out. And let's be honest, he's not been the most popular, fan-friendly fighter in the sport. Not his actual fights. His fights are always wicked, but personality-wise, he's not really been a popular fighter with fans. But everybody cheered him. I think that fight was the perfect. Outside of him, I actually think that fight was, the way it went was a better fight for him to go out on than if he'd have just head kick KO'd Costa in the first round. Because it kind of showed
because it's memorable,
his character, all that sort of stuff. So it was it was like a perfect send off for him. I kind of like the fact that he had that little moment of defiance at the end, that even though he got battered and proper battered, I mean, he looked like a granddad. He's like a model, but after about 3 minutes, he looked like a granddad, all like this throughout the whole fight. But for the last 20 seconds, he had that moment of defiance where he wiped his face, blood all over Costa's face. There's the wicked bit where he says something like, F you to Costa.
And then threw a punch.
Right hand. Yeah, caught him. I was just like, this fight has got, is it technically brilliant? No, of course not. Those guys were shattered. And I was looking at it, the way Rockhold was, as you say, he was gone after about 3 minutes, right? And he was circling off. He was circling off to his left the whole time, and not once did Costa throw a right hook for Rockhold to go into. Not once. He just let him circle out each time. And I was like, what? And I was watching it going, you do know that you could get done by Rockhold. So Rockhold was still landing good strikes. And so for me, the fight was still exciting. I was like watching it round 3 going, Rockhold could still turn this round. He could still land.
Yeah, with one punch every, one punch around.
They were landing, and a few of them seemed to do a little bit, Costa, I think, has got a great chin, but a few of those punches kind of rocked him. And I just thought that at the end, I thought it was just perfect that the young Lions still won, but the old guy still got an amazing send-off. If you like, to me, that was a little bit of a, when Chuck Liddell started losing, that I became a bigger fan of him. And for me, that was a little bit like the Rockhold thing, this adversity, coming through that adversity, the bit at the end, defiance, the FU. I just went, brilliant. Rockhold's brilliant. And I didn't think that going into the fight.
I was going to say, we liked him anyway when it came to fight.
But not this much.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I just thought it was a terrible performance.
But you're looking at it, right, just from I'm going to watch this as a, if you like, a MMA purist or enthusiast, and look at it and go, I mean, some of his kicks were wicked, right? Rockhold's got wicked kicks, but, you're looking at it from a point of view of why don't these guys have better cardio and stuff like that? But if you remove all that, but if you remove all that and you just look at kind of almost like, I know I hate this when people like Helwani say it, but the storyline of it. I was just
it's fine to have a story.
And I don't know if you've seen it. There's a clip where Rockhold comes out of the cage and Cormier goes over and gives him a hug.
Not seen it.
Okay, right. Well, he goes, walks off after Rockhold, and he kind of grabs him on the shoulder. And Rockhold don't know who it is, and he turns around, and when he sees it's Cormier, he does he does his face twists into absolute pain and anguish, because he kind of looks at him, and Cormier gives him a kiss, and he gives Cormier a kiss back, but his face is all twisted because he knows it's over for me as well now. It's over for me. You're finished, you're retired, you're doing commentary. It's over for me now. And I just, for a guy who was bashing the UFC, I mean, even he was bashing the UFC before the fight, but then even at the end he went, thanks Dana. I think, did he say Dana White? But he definitely said thanks UFC. I just thought, you know what, brilliant. It just made me do a bit of I always liked Rockhold, not the chat, but the fights. And it just made me go, maybe I quite like the bloke and all. Even though I know, even though I know this is just, the best
It
he's ever
was my
come from.
favourite bloke Rockhold. The bloods in the face. I like the bit at the end where he just went, like you say, he couldn't finish a sentence and he just went, I'm old. It's like, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
All that I liked, but the fight, I just went, this is crap. If you've got no breath, what's his name? Paulo Costa got no breath, and why couldn't he fight either? He was crap and all. This isn't a me smashing in Rockhold, it's me smashing in the fight, going, what is this fight? I just went, what is this? Yeah, it was entertaining in its own way, but there was such lack of anything. I remember Rockhold threw about 3 or 4 body kicks in a row, and I went, brilliant, and Costa's like, yeah, so what? He's like, I'll have another one then. He's like, yeah, what about another one and another one? He had some moments where I went, yeah, brilliant, but they were so few and far between, and I just don't understand why a bloke can put his hands on his knees and the other bloke go, well, I can't even make it over to you. Forget it, can't be bothered. And to me, it's like, that's just made me go, what's happened to these blokes? Because I saw they're both really good fighters, and I just saw no skills. I just saw 2 blokes going, I can't handle this. And I understand with Rocco because he is old and injured and smashed in and all that. And I did love that chat where he was just saying things, can't handle it, can't do it no more. I'm old. It's like, this is brilliant. He can barely, he can't chat about it. He can't express himself. Are you okay to talk? Yes. Yeah, I ain't, but I'll have a chat then,
I love that. It's like, are you okay to talk? And even before he answered, I went, Rockhold? Of course he's not. He can't.
He doesn't do chats.
He can't finish a sentence. And then obviously he went, yeah. And then they went over and they asked him a question. He said something and then he just went, F. He said the F word, didn't he? And I was just like, say he's not all right to talk then. Say he was like this.
Yeah.
Up against the cage. And I was like, he ain't all right to talk. I'm glad they did talk to him because
it's brilliant.
I even actually sent that clip of him rubbing the blood in that guy's face and the interview. I sent it to someone who's not even into MMA, and I actually sent it to him and said, this is why I love this sport. Now I know that might seem weird to some people, like, well, you like seeing people rub blood in other people's faces. It's like, it's not. For me, it was the whole story of that fight. And for Rockhold, it was almost like that was his Rocky moment. He couldn't have wrote it better for him. I think it was, like I say, to me, it was better than a win. It was better than if he just went out there and booted his head off in 10 seconds. It showed his, I think it endeared people to him. It showed his character, everything. Look, I know you hated it. I won't go on about it because I've already gone on about it for ages. I loved it.
Yeah.
I can't believe earlier you're going, Saldana, fantastic.
Brilliant.
You get this right, F you, bang, and all that, and you're going, crap. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Not. So much more happened in the Saldanas, right? But not all the Saldana was good. And don't forget, you didn't have anybody saying that it's the best fight ever and it's fight of the night. You didn't have anyone doing that. And that added to it to me because I'm listening to this commentary. I've seen loads of the stuff afterwards and I'm going, what's happening? Even at the time, I was watching this fight going, this fight is crap. So, and I don't disagree with anything you've said, but I still thought it was a crap fight. I was sitting there really confused going, this is crap. Yeah, it's endearing. Yes, I like to see people that go through, fight through the fire and show their determination, their courage, their grit. They both had that, but I have no idea why they needed it because the adversary on the other side of them was doing nothing. So you're fighting through what? Someone throwing nothing at you. You're fighting through what? A bloke with his hands on his knees. You're not fighting through nothing. Beat him up then. It's like, well, I can't because I'm fighting through adversity. Why? Did Rockhold beat you up? No. I just can't breathe properly, or I can't walk, or I can't throw punches and kicks. And it's Rockhold. He's like, hands on his knees. Like, what's happened then? Has he been wrestling you? Has he been grappling you? Has he been hitting you? No, he's not hit me at all. So what have you got your hands on your knees for? That's what I didn't like.
To be fair, Costa, I thought it was a surprising decision to follow Rockhold down to the mat early on. And I thought he was brilliant on the mat, Costa. Really held his own, done a lot of damage. Now, the rest of Costa's game, I think, seems to have suffered the last few fights. I remember, when we were really high on him and really excited about him, he used to be like a juggernaut, right? He used to go in there, pin people against the fence and just go, and just smash them. Whereas he seems to have lost that now. He seems to be walking into people with his hands by his hips. I don't know why. I don't know why he thinks that's a good idea now. Walking in with his hands by his hips. And he just doesn't seem to have that lethal, booming punch power that he had.
Yeah,
He
he was going to do like you said, all the swinging up.
And he just don't seem to have that, anymore for some reason. I don't know if he's sort of just changed his style or what, but if he has, I think it's for the worse. But I do think he done good when he went to the ground. Considering Rockhold is a bit of a, an elite sort of fighter on the mat. So I thought Costa done good first round, but then it did turn a bit sloppy for the last 2 rounds. But to me, it was sloppy in a good way.
All right, okay.
Sloppy in a good way. So I loved it. Brilliant Rockhold. Costa as well was brilliant. I thought when the final bell went, I thought there might be a bit of afters or a bit of bad blood, and there wasn't. They were kind of all right and respectful of each other, but not being over the top. Like Aldo and Moran were down. That we've got to talk about that. What about that brilliant bit of Joe Rogan where they're sharing a private moment? Rogan just slips the microphone up between. Yeah, how rude is that? That's so rude.
It was crap, but then they went, well, we ain't doing chats now. We've done our chats. You know what I mean? Yeah. Didn't give him nothing, did they?
Yeah.
Quite good.
But, they did. Rockhold and Costa didn't go that far. They didn't sort of go, okay, well, now we're best buddies. Because there was a bit of needle beforehand, but they'd done enough to be respectful and good to each other. And I really did enjoy it. Loved it.
There's nothing wrong with enjoying it. I was a little confused, but I do still get why people. I did say I get why people like it. It's the same as there'll be fights that I really like that people will go, "What crap!" Like Travis Brown and Verdum. I love that fight, right? But I bet you it ain't a fight that a lot of people remember or like.
Well, how about your all-time favorite, Anderson Silva, Damian Maia? Everyone hates that fight, but it's one of your favorites ever.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Talk about nothing happening, and then your favorite fight is
good. No, but that wasn't nothing happening because Anderson Silva. Didn't have the energy to throw stuff. Mentally, he might not have had the energy to throw stuff. Anyway, we don't want to chat about that fight, right? But that's what I'm saying. It's understandable that people have different opinions. It's just that seemed to be everyone loved it. But I was sitting there going, what's happened? And I thought, well, he won't like it. When I chat to him, he'll go, cool, yeah, I don't understand it. It was crap. And that's why I thought, I've got to check. Is that sarcasm? He was like, no, I loved it. I was like, oh, no, another one. Another one. Yeah, but listen, fair enough. But when it was Fight of the Night, I was thinking, Fight of the Night is crap.
No,
terrible.
It's one
Zero skills.
I would generally go.
Cup fight. And there is someone. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say that. I can't believe I'm going to say it, but now I've remembered. I'm going to have to say it. Jake Paul. He agrees with me. He said it was crap.
Oh,
right?
Well, you're in bad company then.
I know. I know. He went. Finally, though, I had someone where I went right. Someone said it's crap. He'll have his reasons, right? But he said it's crap because it was a glorified street fight, and I thought, oh look, I don't want to be agreeing with that bloke, but yeah, it weren't very good.
But so what? Sometimes that sport does descend into that, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Normally, a street fight as striking, as action. There's no action.
Well, anyway, we'll have to agree to disagree. I loved it. You can.
There weren't a fight.
You can do the podcast. Do the podcast with Jake Paul in the future. I'll get a lot more views.
Maybe you can do a podcast with me. How about that way round?
No,
right. There was no fight. There wasn't a fight. Crap.
Well, listen, I'm not saying that it's a fight that I would say to people, go back and rewatch, this display of mixed martial arts brilliance, right? It's not one of those. But honestly, I'd say it's one of my favourite kind of UFC moments. When people do those sort of top 10 lists of, favourite UFC moments, might be, when Frank Mir broke Nagira's arm or whatever, all these different things, or I can't think of anything else right now off the top of my head, but that will be one of them. It's just like I really enjoyed it. I don't, I'm not. I've already gone on about it too much.
That's the main thing. You really enjoyed it. That's good, right? That's a good thing. It got Fight of the Night and everything. It's good. Loads of people really enjoyed it. I'm not even saying I was annoyed. I was just watching it, going, "What is this crap fight?" But a fight where I would say, it became a little bit street fighty, but still had martial arts skill in it and had weird moments was Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler, they're facing each other, spitting the bloods down and all that. To me, that was good because it's still, it had the, and the other one, is it Robbie? What's the other one with Carlos Condit? Is that another Robbie Lawler or is that a McDonald? Both hanging off the cage at the end.
Robbie Lawler as well when it going into the last round. And
right, those fights to me, they still have the skill. They still had to go for adversity and blah blah blah. But there was a lot more happening. This nothing was happening. Anyway, we'll move on because even though it got fight tonight,